I sat in my loft and I watched it, and I'm similar to gracious punch a hole in the condom. And get pregnant word has it that Kevin frantic to rescue what's left of his broke domain. As of late defied Sharina, about leaving him helpless bits of hearsay case, that Kevin released a deluge of allegations pointing fingers at Sharina for depleting his ledgers and leaving him monetarily disabled, yet it appears as though Serena wasn't going to withdraw. Either sources uncover that she remained strikingly May, certainly dismissing Kevin's cases, and advising him that his monetary slips-up were his own doing apparently. She's prepared to move forward, passing on Kevin to get the bits of his once lavish way of life. With strains arriving at a limit plainly, this shocking undertaking hosts negatively affected the two gatherings. Included Kevin, once a considerable power in media outlets, is presently left scrambling to recapture his balance. While Sharina stands persevering in her quest for greener fields, it's no big surprise individuals are saying that Kevin Tracker ought to quit looking for someone else to take the blame and pay the piper of karma. Cast your psyches back to the start of this shameful undertaking. Well, before Sharina Hudson entered the image back in 1994, Kevin Tracker encountered the most beguiling moderator, Wendy Williams, and love bloomed. They went all in and traded promises. 3 years after the fact, apparently bound for a long period of married rapture, their association even delivered a child, Kevin Tracker, who continually helps them to remember their once flourishing relationship. However, stand by in light of the fact that the fantasy took a dull turn when reports of Kevin's disloyalty surfaced in April 2019, uncovering the profound breaks in their 21-year marriage. Unfit to disregard reality any longer, the couple chose to head out in different directions, and their separation was finished on January 22, 2020. Anyway, little did Wendy had at least some idea that while she was still lawfully bound to Kevin, he was entangled in an outrageous undertaking with, in all honesty, Sharina Hudson extremely, and our children in Miami. So I must be quiet on the telephone with him, like a caring mother. I must be blissful on the television, each day live from New York. Clutch your caps on the grounds that the stunning disclosures proceed with Kevin and Serena figured out how to stay quiet about their grimy relationship for a stunning 16 years. The adventure started in 2007, while Kevin was as yet hitched to Wendy, as he covertly sneaked around with Sharina, holding a mysterious life away from inquisitive eyes. Yet stand by it gets much more outrageous. Kevin didn't stop at unfaithfulness. He boldly utilized Wendy's well-deserved cash to subsidize Sharina's excessive way of life. That is correct, he assumed the part of an ideal friendly benefactor for his paramour, giving her monetary help, and in any event, helping her in chasing after her fantasies. This is a treachery that would blow the mind of any average person, as the residue chooses this exciting issue. Obviously, Kevin Tracker's activities have left a path of deplorability and broken trust afterward. Gracious punch a hole in the condom and get pregnant, yet that misfired on me, didn't it? Applause. Oak now. Applause. All I'm expressing reversal to fair game. I'm a fair game player and an honest person, too. Kevin pulled out all the stops, putting cash, time, and assets into her undertakings, from financing Sharina's schooling to turn into a back rub specialist to opening a booth for her at a shopping center in North Carolina. Kevin figured he could make Sharina a commonly recognized name anyway. It seems like every one of his endeavors failed, with none of her organizations making any genuine progress. Yet the proof of their shameful undertaking couldn't remain stowed away perpetually. Step by step, the photos and reports began to surface, further uncovering the genuine degree of their mystery sentiment. It really has neither rhyme nor reason how they figure out how to stay quiet about their filthy relationship for such a long time in a stunning development. While Wendy Williams was looking for treatment for her substance misuse issues in a recovery office in Florida, Kevin improperly flew Sharina down to the daylight state. While Wendy endeavored to better herself, Kevin couldn't avoid the enticement and figured out how to meet with his escort just in the wake of visiting his better half in recovery, discuss a total absence of regard, and thought an insider of page 6 offers it's deteriorated. She went from wine to directly up vodka. That is on how the Wendy Williams show finished. There was a many individuals saying that they sort of treated you terribly. They didn't be guaranteed to give you the recognition or the legitimate farewell you were owed. As I would see it, they ought to have gotten it done with the Wendy Williams show, not these others on the Wendy Williams show. Expect for Fat Joe, who I love him. He's my number one. I sat in my loft and I watched it. And I'm similar to in the event that I do nothing else, including digital broadcast, including eatery. I couldn't imagine anything better than to fall head over heels. I need to a ton of young ladies at 57. It's not Kevin who let Wendy down during her period of scarcity. Sources have uncovered that the creation organization of her previous daytime syndicated program purportedly wouldn't get her the assistance she wanted, demolishing her well-being and fixation issues. They walked out on somebody so weak, leaving Wendy feeling deserted and deceived in the midst of Wendy's recuperation. Kevin totally ignored the results of his activities and their effect on his significant other's prosperity. The daringness and childishness he showed while keeping up with his undertaking, while Wendy looked for help, are marvelous. The source likewise added Kevin is enamored with Sharina, yet he told her he can't leave his significant other, yet the main explanation he is still with Wendy is that he and Sharina can't deal with themselves. They need her cash, as per a source near him. Incidentally, he really went overboard on the dazzling stone back in 2020, preceding Wendy Williams confronted her well-being related emergency. Stunning reports have surfaced uncovering that Wendy experienced an overwhelming implosion that at last prompted her hospitalization, and in any event, being put on self-destruction. Watch sources near the circumstance have unveiled that Wendy's psychological state crumbled quickly as she was seen taking part in unpredictable conduct. She would have serious discussions with herself, scarcely rested, continually walked about, and amazingly even would not eat and drink. The impetus for Wendy's cognitive deterioration was the public openness of her ex Kevin Tracker's disloyalty. It is likewise asserted that Wendy's child Kevin Tracker Jr. was conditioned and betrayed her by his dad, at first steady of his mom, during the wild consequence of their folks' split. Kevin Jr. supposedly exchanged sides, further crushing Wendy. The plot continues toward the peak as Kevin Tracker presently ends up in steaming hot water when news breaks that he has fathered a child young lady with Sharina Hudson. His then sweetheart. This sensation disclosure was sufficient to send shock waves through Wendy's reality, and she just couldn't deal with it. Yet here's where things get fascinating. Wendy, never one to avoid taking strong actions, made a fairly negligible play encounter, petitioned for legal separation from your significant other, right Kevin, after almost 22 years of marriage, right? And in 25 years being together, right? And due to his treachery, definitely you realize unfaithfulness is one thing. A full child is an entire nother subject. Okay, better believe it. I mean, you said in the New York Times magazine, I'm an exceptionally lenient individual, yet there's one thing I would never be a piece of. And that one thing happened. Gracious, wow. And that was all there was to it. Better believe it, the child did it. Goodness, child, I'm not changing spoils. I need to be spoils. Wendy discharged Kevin from his post as leader maker of her own show, The Wendy Williams Show, in April 2019, scarcely 7 days subsequent to petitioning for legal separation from him. Wendy wasn't going to keep her ex in her business life, following his activities and the insight about Sharina's pregnancy. Wendy plainly set out to do a spotless split and cut all connections with Kevin. I would like to ask you, however, are you separated? For what valid reason? James, how dare you? Roots following 9 months. Yes. I'm completely separated from an entryway, has shut in previous lifestyle. The new section has been so wonderful. Wow. Serena was spotted with a tremendous ring on her finger. When the separation was finished, the ring, skillfully dissected by A.J. Anand of Uncommon Carat, is a genuine masterpiece. The long-term oles bling flaunts an entrancing 4-carat rounds center precious stone, set in a mind-boggling and eye-getting configuration. Yet that is not all the actual band sparkles with a 3-column clear. While a sumptuous precious stone radiance encompasses the middle stone, adding much more shimmer to the generally stunning piece. Concerning the sticker price lock, in light of the fact that this ring is assessed to be valued at a stunning $80,000, that is correct, people. Kevin unquestionably didn't keep down. When it came to pursuing a proclamation with his decision of gems, later on Wendy even admitted, "I never felt that I would be in this position. I'm an exceptionally sympathetic individual. Yet there's one thing that I would never be a piece of." And that one thing happened. I've had some significant awareness of her, nearly starting from the starting. I've realized that Kevin is a sequential cheat whenever I first found out was while I was pregnant with our child on bed. Rest a show keeps on unfurling in the continuous fight between Wendy Williams and her ex-Kevin tracker. The most recent stunner uncovers that Kevin has lost his latest battle for provision. It's been accounted for that Wendy hasn't made any support installments to Kevin since mid-2022, tragically for Wendy. This implies she likewise doesn't approach her huge fortune until she's considered intellectually fit to deal with such liabilities. In the meantime, Kevin professes to be in desperate monetary waterways, expressing that he's poor and unfit to cover his bills anyway. Another Jersey judge quickly excused his case without bias. "I have fallen behind on the majority of my bills. I as of now live locally that expects installments to the mortgage holder's affiliation. And I'm behind on that charge," Kevin said in his recording. He proceeded with, "My vehicle protection hasn't been paid because of not getting month-to-month severance installments. I'm behind."